People, deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Good morning to you guys. Now, it's been a hectic week for me with the content and a lot in my personal life. It's been a hectic day yesterday in relation to Arsenal's FA Cup. Obviously, that first half an hour was a killer. You saw the amount of time yesterday I was streaming for. I have a life like you guys. I have to do a lot in my personal life today, and it's one of those days, man. I've got when you've just got a list of things to do. So really, I don't have time to be live streaming. So I'm really sorry that I haven't done a live Q&A, but I said it was going to be a week from now, and I always like to deliver my promise. So I hope to give you guys some content in some capacity. Like I said, I would have loved to have kept doing this, Q&A live show, doing it live, sorry, for my members. This is all for the members. I really like the service that you lot allow me to provide. So I apologize that this isn't live, but either way, I've got your questions in front of me. Q&As are back. The members then will be watching this, and I'll release it a couple of days after for the fans them and all of that sort of stuff, maybe on a Tuesday because it's Sunday now. But for the members them, they get the premium content and whatnot. But it's Q&A day. Let me answer your questions. There isn't too much, but let me answer them. I think there's 13 questions from you guys. Big up all of the members, people. Big up all of the members. I've got my phone in front of me here. I just find it much easier to look at my phone. First question, Skytar Rush has said, on the ideas, could it be possible to do a daily 5 or 10 minute vid about transfer news maybe until the window shuts? Well, I always talk, I guess, primarily about Arsenal content and stuff in that regards, mainly, in terms of transfers. But I'm all for neutral content. Maybe I'll do more of the transfer sort of stuff, talking about it. The bulk of it is just clickbait and nonsense, though. So we'll have to take it with a pinch of salt. But is that any different from Arsenal? So maybe that is something, I already talk about it indirectly in live streams and kind of clip up content. So I kind of think I'm covering that already. Big up M has said, I know it's a bit off topic, but a compilation of your best bits with you reacting. Also, how do you feel we can improve? Sorry, you've also said, what do you feel we can improve to improve our scouting network? Well, to answer your first question, I'm not too sure on what the best bits of me reacting actually is. So I guess that's down for one of the members, them, or subscribers, them, to go clip that out, because I don't know. I don't know what that would be, to be fair with you, but it is something. In relation to scouting, it's difficult to put an actual pin on it, but sometimes I don't even think scouting players is the problem for Arsenal. I just feel when it comes to a quality player, we're unable to negotiate properly. And sometimes I think we look for reasons not to sign a player, really. Like, you're even hearing concerns about Aouar and Szoboszlai. I think we need to know the profile of player we're looking for. And I think we've gone away from that. Like, if you was to say an Arsenal player 10 or so years ago, technically first touch got to be spot on, 1-2s, all of these sort of things. I don't really feel there's a philosophy on the player we're trying to get, in my opinion. So maybe define that, and then, look where nobody's looking, sort of thing. When we make decisions over players easy, quicker and with more confidence would be what I would say, to be fair with you. Live from Planet X has said, not a question, but I like the calls in on Hugh Wizzy's channel. Although it seems technical to set up, would be a cool thing for the members. That could be something I would try, my guy. That is something I'd be interested in exploring. But at the same time, how do you screen it? Like, how do you screen it? How do you prevent nonsense happening? It's like, I would love to do it for you lot. The majority of you lot are sensible, and I am going to look to it. But what happens when you get that one idiot that will go to extreme lengths, even becoming a YouTube member on my channel, just to come and say, I don't want him to come on and start trolling, start moving mad, start saying, sexist, racist, and all of these sort of comments, and just carrying on all mad. Some people are saddle. So that's something I'm a bit paranoid of, people, because I don't want it to ruin what we have here. Obviously, you're going to get clowns, you get trolls, you get the rest of it. But I'd like to think I do a half decent job of, like, somewhat doing as much as I can to kind of filter that, to kind of avoid that from happening, to kind of do what I can to make this a safe place where we can have a bit of banter. We don't take ourselves too seriously, but we're not here for stuff going beyond the top and stuff like that. So I'm not too sure if there's a way. Maybe I'll speak with you and see if there's a way of, like, mitigating against that, or doing something against that. But I'm not too sure. I would love to do it, but again, it comes down to people being able to behave themselves, really and truly, my guy, simply put. Skytar, again, big up all the members. You can ask as many questions as you lot want. I'd say 13 questions isn't good enough from you guys, people. I feel like I'm doing you lot a disservice, but I mean, I ask you lot to ask me the questions via the community tab. this is all you lot got for man, innit? But Skyter's back again. He said content idea too. He said when time allows in the future, when time allows in the future, could you have the right amount of people in a pops up? I don't know what that is. Maybe a live or recorded Discord voice call discussion with members. Yeah, and that kind of ties into what I was saying. Yeah, I mean, when it's people like M and like Live from Planet X and like yourself and like usual names or that I can see. Of course, I don't know you lot personally, but I can kind of get ideas that you lot are not trolls, you lot are not stupid, you kind of are invested in my channel, so you've got no reason to come and troll up the thing. So when it's members or usernames I see quite frequently, then yeah, I can do it. But I'm not. Again, we'd have to do some serious processing in how we get to that, because I would love it to be, I'm in a live chat with, let's just say yesterday it was the live stream of Newcastle, Arsenal, someone who might not necessarily even be a member, even though members will have priority over that, might have something like, yeah, DG, let me come in and speak. And I might go, yeah, you know what? Let's see what you're on. We're having a great discussion with the previous guests and the previous people that are on it, but this Donny comes on and starts moving mad. It's going to ruin the service, people, really. You see, even yesterday, you had someone try to pull a fast one. What was it? And it must be a child. It was what did he say? It was something like, have you seen that player that's been linked with Leeds, Jack on and then me? But he said it in a way, you see how stupid it is. It's like, oh, I get it, it's funny. I've seen it happen to a couple of YouTubers and it's quite funny at times, but we don't need all of that, people. Do you get it? So if there's a way, I'm cautious of live calling in that, but there must be a way, because I don't like Talk Sport and these sort of things, but they find a way. Surely there must be a way of screening people and things like that. So yeah, it could be something. In fact, did I not ask you lot in another community post exclusive to members who would like to have a chance to speak and whatnot? So we're gonna get on that. Yoan, big up yourself. You said, what's your thoughts on the way the Premier League are handling the COVID situation, i.e. the postponement? I think in a few years, not just the Premier League, but Boris Johnson and the government, between that, the government has a lot to answer for. Glenfell and how they've handled COVID and the lives that have been lost has been disgraceful. There's literally blood on their hands. Specific to COVID, it's not making any sense. The rules are changing. And sometimes when you actually read the rules and look at the fine print, they're hypocritical. They're very hypocritical. So I don't think they're handling it well enough. Again, I think maybe I don't want to see the Premier League stop, but one has to wonder when you're seeing, the Villa unable. It's commendable how well they played, and it's a good moment for Louis Barry to score. But I mean, that's not exactly fair. They've not been able to play a first team against Liverpool, in an FA Cup. Come on now, surely beat Derby and under, a young Derby side. Again, games are being postponed. You're seeing record positive tests. You're hearing that the Premier League and the Football League are going to do more testing now. Again, it's a new disease, and I'm no doctor, so I can't really tell them, but I just think it's very reactive and not proactive. And again, I think we might get to the point where we might have to postpone the Premier League, which I hope doesn't happen. Adrian has said, and Adrian, I appreciate your comments, but I can't lie to you, my guy. I understand you're paying for a service, but I can't lie. You're gonna have to pattern up the way you speak to me in some of your comments. It's difficult to see the context, and like I said, by all means, everyone can criticize my opinions and things and stuff like that, because I come here and I ask questions of players. It'd be stupid for me not to. But what I will not tolerate is for someone telling me how I think, telling me what I think, and telling me what I've actually said. In fact, my biggest pet peeve is what I said. You cannot tell me I don't rate Eddie Nketiah. If I'm coming across as harsh, it's because I'm coming across as true. I can't judge Eddie on what he's doing as a youth man now. It's what he's doing in the first team. So please don't tell me that you're reading between the lines. You're not a detective interrogating deluded Gooner. Please just, critique me, question mark me, disagree with me, all of these things, but do not tell me what I'm thinking. Do not tell me how I view a player, please, because that's the one thing that annoys me. And to be fair with you, I do not care or give a crap if you're a member or not. You're going to have to pattern up how you speak, or, you can keep it moving and depart with your cash and do what you need to do, which is fine. But, we've got a good service here. You're normally a good guy. Just please don't think you know me just because you watch my videos and talking about reading between the lines. You don't. You just know the man that sits here and speaks about football. We've got a good community. I like to think you lot have seen me develop and whatnot. Let's keep it that way. But moving along from this, I hope you're well and in festive spirits, my guy. You said, hope you had a good Christmas and New Year. what would you like to achieve in your professional and personal life this year? Well, I've got a couple of goals that are going to stay close to the chest because I believe there's bad mind, but simply to be a better person, better than I was yesterday. Can I double my subscribers? Can I double my income? Can I diversify my income? Can I get some opportunities that I haven't actually seen, just simply be better? Can I keep learning and developing and learning new skills? This is what I want to do, really and truly. That's all I can say. And you said, how do you think that leaving your job and going full-time has benefited? Because I've seen the massive improvement since the 9K days. Now you're over twice that number. Difficult one. I'd say on one hand, I feel more free, I feel more alive, I feel happier, I feel, I feel since I've been doing what I like and having a sense of urgency, I think the days are quicker versus the days were longer back then. There's not enough time in it for 24 hour in the 24-hour day. So I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. I get to, make content. I'm trying to push it. The key is to obviously make it to a point where I can earn a proper income from it. It's all right now, but the bulk of it, I'd say 10% goes, what's it? Obviously, I have to, have bills to pay. YouTube don't pay that much. I've got savings and I've got, the little bit YouTube provides, covers the bills, put food in my belly, and the rest of it gets redistributed. But obviously, I'd be an idiot not to sit here like everyone and say I want financial freedom. So I think obviously there's that pressure. You leave that pay packet like it's all on me. If I want a decent pay wage at the end of the month or something, I've got to bring out good content. I've got to get better engagement levels. I've got to drive traffic to my channel. I've got to get more subscribers, because from what I've seen, subscribe, obviously, if you've got 1 million subscribers, you're more likely to get more views. There's common sense. But from what I've seen, for me, I'd say the most important thing is the views. The views is everything. I'd say the views are more important than subscribers, because in theory, if you've got 10 subscribers, but you're getting 100K views versus if you've got 100K subscribers, you're getting 10K views, bit exaggerate, but you get the point. So I'd say the views are the most important thing, people. I'd say, what would I say is the second? I think views. I'd say tagging is important. I'd just say the views are more important than the actual subscribers. I can't remember what I would say as third. I had this conversation yesterday. So yeah, if it's down to me, I've got to drive traffic, I've got to drive engagement, I've got to get collabs, I've got to be consistent, I've got to, keep bringing content, keep diversifying, keep bringing in Arsenal content. But there's the bulk of your subscribe to me because I'll talk about young players, and all of these other things. So keep doing that, keep making sure that while I don't claim to be no genius or the first to find young players, I've set a reputation of talking about young players. So I have to keep that desire and drive to finding a young player. That's why you see me, well, you don't, but you see me watching League One, League Two, League One, League Two highlights. If I can't watch Liga highlights, the same goes for all the other leagues. We've even got a couple Polish games. I can't be everywhere. I'd love to have scouts a part of my team, but what I can do is try in it. So I'd say that. Obviously, there's a lot of anxiety, obviously, because again, you're shook, you're shook. What if YouTube closes down? What happens? What if I don't make it? What if I'm making the wrong choice? These are all things that I go through, but I have to cloud it out. So there's a lot more pressure. And truthfully, I know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing in that. I can't see the future. I'm almost, jumping in the deep end. I'm jumping into the ocean and I can't really see a shore. And I'm just, the current is strong, man. I'm just swimming in that. So I would say that, but I'd say I feel more alive because it was the hardest decision to do. On one hand, people might say it's stupid, some man might commend it, but it was the one that was always itching at me, and it was itching at me for months and months and months, and I'd always shun it. And it just felt taking the jump, doing the more difficult thing is what's going to allow me to grow as a person. And if it doesn't work out, we'll just go back to what we normally did. But I appreciate your comments. I appreciate your praise for the growth, and we just continue to grow. I don't feel I'm growing enough. Like the views on my channel, I don't think they are good enough. So how can I get them better? I know thumbnails is one. I'm terrible at Photoshop. I've been trying to learn it for time. I'd rather pay someone to do it, but it is what it is. We keep moving, we keep developing. There's not a single part of adversity in my life that I genuinely feel I can't overcome. And I'd say the biggest thing is the mindset. You've got to keep your mind right. Like I said, I get a lot of anxiety because at the end of the day, you lot don't like me. You like the fact that I speak about football. You don't like me. You lot can turn it off and things like that. So I'm always like, how can I keep getting new subscribers? How can I keep the name? How can I keep this decent reputation that I've got? It's things like that. Junior has said, big up the DG Tugs. What's your goals for the new year with DG Nation? Up move. Thank you very much, my guy. And similar to the same question, just to keep improving, to keep trying. Obviously, to keep getting collabs, to keep trying to better the visuals for you guys, all of this sort of the usual, really and truly. Just keep trying to give you a better service and a more engaging service. It might sound stupid, but I've even noticed a little difference with stuff like this, just to make a point. There's nothing to actually show you. Little stuff like this, or I might go on a little Twitter and show you the actual article that I'm speaking about, just stuff to keep you engaged. And I've also, as well, just trying to give. I can't please everyone. You can't be a people pleaser. When I started this, I tried to please everyone, not with my opinions, but giving them the content. And I realized that weren't necessarily the best option for me. So I try and do what I can. Some man like the youth content, some man like the deluded thoughts. There's fans of other clubs that like to listen to what I have to say about Arsenal purely because of me, or there's some people that like Arsenal. People like when I speak about other topics, whether it's racism, neutral topics, or things going on at other clubs. Some man love the live stream, some man love the short one. So it's trying to give everyone what they want. I can't do it all, but I can give some balance. When I do a live stream, a lot of you love it, but a lot of you say, oh, I missed it and all of these things. So I try and clip up the best bits in it. Like I try to clip up the little things so that if you ain't got an hour, you might have a little 20 minutes in your lunch break and you caught the bulk of it. Then if you want to catch the long of it, you can do what you need to do. In fact, I see big up DG Nation. We're actually in Chile. I forgot the guy's username, but I see him say something like, oh, I've started back uni now. I can't really watch your live stream. So I really appreciate the little clips you do. It allows me to do my thing while I'm waiting for my patients at wherever he works. So I appreciate you for your content and fitting me in your schedule. But you get it, trying to give something for everybody. And stuff like that. So I'd say that really and truly. Yoan has said, would also like to see the random vids where you talk about young players you like the look of again. And we ain't gone nowhere. I do that. The last Italian lad I spoke about, Juventus have signed him now. So I still do that. But I guess you're right, man. I could do that a lot more. I think in the last couple of weeks, because of Arsenal and how volatile we've been, I've had to focus on Arsenal a lot. But I'm an Arsenal fan, but I'm a fan of football. And then Arsenal is the club I love. So I love to speak about a lot of football. And I know, it's probably a lot of you understand what I'm about. Like I will talk about Spurs as much as I want. I'll talk about Spurs' players. I'll speak about Chelsea. I'll speak about Arsenal, United. I'll do what I want, sort of thing, because football is bigger than just one club or just one singular thing. And I like football as a whole. So I'll do what I need to do. Subi said, a video of the Arsenal under 16 players who have potential for the future. Wait till they become under 18s and you'll see content. You know me, I don't do the 16s thing, to be fair. And to be fair, I haven't got to have much of a look at the 16s. Like I've seen a lot of them. I know a lot of them. I'm not going to mention any names. But yeah, man, I'll probably have to wait for that. I'm getting a phone call. This is the thing about recording live. I'm going to have to call you back, brother. I'm going to have to call you back, my guy. Gonna have to call you back. Apologies for that, people. Daniel has said, hey DG, your content rules, very excited for 2021. If you were the sporting director and were able to implement a 5-year plan, what would you do and why? Specific on players or moves in mind. 5-year plan. My 5-year plan would be to make us a consistent top 4 team. So I'd identify central midfield, which I believe we need to bring in a couple of those, and the obvious areas we need to improve. First and foremost, we would need to address them. In relation to bringing in specific players, our was on top of my list. I'd love to bring in Lamperty, and I could sit here until I'm blue in the face and talk about other names. But I'd say first and foremost, we need to get younger players in. I'd say first things first is actually deal with the contract stuff. We've lost that Balogun. It was in the balance for Aubameyang and Saka. I see a lot of contracted players until 2022. So moving them on and looking to really implement a process of it within the next every 2 years. Let's try and renew deals. Let's be proactive in that. I'd like to set up better scouting networks in South America and probably set up an affiliate club so that we can get these players in and take advantage of or get around work permit laws and things like that. So I would say that they would be the first things I would do, man. That would be it, man, to be fair with you. So look to get an affiliate club, look to do what Dortmund and all of these clubs do in the Benficas and find these stars of tomorrow. And if work permit laws prevent them from coming to England, can we farm them to Spain or to Holland and things like that? I look to be doing what City have. They've got a monopoly of clubs over the world, really and truly. So I'd say that would be my first priority, really and truly. And making sure I've got the right individuals in certain areas, really, because we've seen it. Hos Farme's left, the contract man, and he was notoriously known as someone very difficult in the wrong way to work with, quite incompetent, what some agents that I've spoken to have said. But he left, and Balogun's foul, in my opinion, was left on the table too. So we've struggled in that regard. So look to find more clarity with the people away from the footballing squad, actually find clarity over roles and really have a defined sort of scouting thing we're trying to do. Wayne Dash has said, I think that's a tough one. Top 10 up and coming talents, quick 15-minute segment during the live stream. You're asking a lot there, my guy. I can't think of no one off the top of my head that you guys don't know already. I'm not an oracle, but I appreciate the question. I just can't answer that for you. Discord set up from members only, then live stream the responses, sprinkle it in with a normal stream 20 minutes thing. That is something, that's something I could take on board. The members will always get priority with the live stream for obvious reasons, which I've said. So yeah, man, that would be it. Big up AM. You said, what profile player would you pick to be his successor? And if you could name some, you said Aubameyang. It's difficult with the strikers because we're not going to buy a top class striker, so we'll have to take a chance. There's quite a few, but again, it's difficult when you pull it off the top of my head. But for me, again, while I can't give you a specific name, and I apologize, I think we've got to look at the profile. I think when you look at Lacazette, there's something stopping him from being Arteta's first choice. I don't think Aubameyang is his first choice through the middle. He understands what he brings to the table, but I don't think he likes him like that. Eddie the same, he's quite limited. I think if you could combine Lacazette and Aubameyang, you'd have his striker. So can we look for someone that, can get involved in build-up play and has a bit of a hold-up play within him? I'd say you need that, someone with a bit of general play, someone who's mobile. I think that's the striker he wants. But it's down for the club because, like I said, the minute we signed Aubameyang to that new deal, we should be looking at someone, We might be saying, we got concerns over Edouard. He might be the guy. Let's watch him for another year and see if he's levels. Then let's watch him next year and see if he's levels. And then, that's a 3-year period from when Aubameyang would have signed his new deal. So is he of that level or are we doing it? Because you've got to find them, Lewandowski had to come out of somewhere before he went to Dortmund. They have to. Aubameyang was at St. Etienne and, doing all these loan spells and stuff. Somewhat Dortmund took a chance. So again, we need to do our due diligence. I would love Karim Adeyemi. He can play as a winger. I think long term he's a striker. He plays for Salzburg. So again, you know how that script goes. But I think that's a myth. You've also said I like Oba, but apologies, my guy. Everybody's calling my phone. But he needs to hold the bench for me. He isn't really warranting a place in the starting 11 with his performances. And I hate when people say credit in the bank. Brother got paid handsomely for his services to the club. And this is a results business. We haven't got time to be holding man's hand. Just look at the league. For me, he needs to come off the bench and show that hunger, the hunger he had to earn his spot, same way Laka has. And this should go for every Arsenal player. What's your opinion on this? What you said, can't disagree. Obviously, with he's the captain and it's Aubameyang, he gets a bit of a blight. So I get where you're going. I can't disagree with what you said. Spots are earned. If you're not doing the job, come out. I do think he's been better against West Brom and he scored in the FA Cup. But we all know that's still not good enough. So I can't disagree what you're saying. There is every reason for him to touch the bench. Him being captain and things irrelevant. I can't disagree with it. It's a bit harsh because the credit in the bank thing, I agree with it, I'm being a bit biased to Aubameyang, admittedly, but it's like you said, spots are earned. Lacazette had to hold bench. He done his job. We're clearly trying to play Aubameyang through form. I can't disagree with what you said there. I can't add anything on it. If he's, initially, you never just want to drop a player. You want to try and make him play through the form. Then you do the thing like, cool, I know he's doing his thing on the left-hand side, but he's not scoring. Let's move him through the middle. And then it's a thing where maybe they need saving from themselves and they need a drop in and stuff like that. And I think that could help him. Again, I hope he gets back to scoring against Crystal Palace, but I don't know. I can't disagree. Why he probably won't be on the bench now is because obviously Martinelli's sadly injured now. Again, if Pepe starts playing a blinder and you move Saka back to the left-hand side and Lacazette keeps his form in Smith Rowe, then in theory, there is no space for our captain in which, it's harsh and it's alarm bells and all of these things, but spots are earned. So, AM, you said it perfectly. What more can I add on to that? You said it perfectly. Lastly, Rooster has said, non-related Arsenal questions, he said, I like your second question. You've said, what would you like to achieve or fulfill in other aspirations in life besides progressing your YouTube and analytical career? Financial freedom. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want to wake up where they don't have to worry about their next pound or, if the boiler breaks or something, it's a bit of a problem, or Christmas is coming, I need to do this and that. Who doesn't want financial freedom? So I'd say that first and foremost, really. Fulfillment out of life. I feel fulfilled, but I want this feeling to stay with me for life, like this feeling of fulfillment, this feeling, because from doing YouTube and kind of living life on my terms, I might not be earning a lot of money. I'm probably even worse off from doing YouTube full time, but I feel free. I feel alive. I feel good. I want that to stay with me for life. I want to affect other people's lives in a positive way. I want to build myself up. Not that I can brag that I helped people, but I want to help people. I want to help the future DG, like someone that just needs a little come up. And if I can get to the level I want to do, where I have the contacts, I've done all the interviews, you know, I've been holding roles at professional clubs, and obviously YouTube is progressing, then why wouldn't I want to do that? Because I do see how, you know, some man get it easy. Some man can just holler someone, that person clicks their fingers and a move is patterned. I want that to be the case for me to help people as well. So I'd say I want to help people. Obviously, I want to put a smile on my mother's face. Again, I don't think I've done that really and truly. I know she always tells me she's proud of me, but in my short time of lives, I think I've given her more stress than good. So I'd love to, you know, just be a positive child for once, you know, be my name ring bells for the positive reasons, not necessarily other things that sadly have plagued me. So I'd say that really and truly. And obviously to just keep gaining knowledge and stuff like that. So that I'd say that, man, just keep network, get better network of contacts within the world of football, you know, get better relations, you know, just glow up mentally, spiritually, you know, financially, just all the same things that everybody wants. There isn't any other specifics really and truly. I want my level 3 coaching badge as well. Corona's messed up everything in relation to those sort of coaching goals and whatnot, but it is what it is. You said other sports you follow besides football. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm a boxing, you know, knowledgeable expert, but I am a fan of the sport. I like boxing. Lately, I've been watching NBA. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of NBA, but I like how it's just end-to-end business. So I would say NBA. I've been watching NFL just from a tactical point of view. Again, not no mad fan, can't tell you mad statistics, but I'd say that. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of Formula One. I'm a fan of Lewis Hamilton. And when Lewis Hamilton calls it a day, I don't think I'll watch it again. But when Lewis Hamilton's racing, I'm not going to sit and say my eyes are glued to F1. I think it's quite boring, but I love it on TV, hearing what Hamilton's doing. But I'd say boxing, really. I'd say boxing. I don't think you can class gymming as a sport, but I'd say gymming. But football's my first love. I wouldn't say I follow another sport per se. I'd say I'll watch it. I'll support, obviously, Wimbledon. I wouldn't say I'm a tennis fan, but Wimbledon or two big names are fighting each other, or, you know, Serena's playing and things, then I'm all over it. Or, you know, boxing, if Mayweather, you know, if Canelo, if Triple G, AJ, Fury, White, Chisora, you know, Mike Tyson back in the days, if these sort of men were doing their things, then or there was fights, then I'm being involved. But I wouldn't say I'm a fan of it. Like you don't see it, but I'm always on Google, muscle memory. I'm always typing in goal.com, Arsenal, Twitter, this and that. I'm not doing that over boxing. So make of that what you will, really. Moving away from that, you've also asked, what are your favorite artists and albums come across in any music genre? Vibes Cartel, 50 Cent. Yeah, man. Vibes Cartel, 50 Cent, Popcorn, Alkaline, Movado, all the G Unit back in the days, Little Baby right now, NBA, Gunner, Young Scooter, Gucci Mane, the Migos, the usual stuff, man. I'd say that. Albums, I always get albums and mixtapes mixed up, but I would say right now the ones that are constantly on repeat, Potter Papers thing, Training Day 3. All of the training days are hard. Potter Papers messed, but I'd say Potter Papers things on repeat. Little Dirk's new thing is on repeat. So Little Dirk, Baby, Young Scooter, his Young Scooter's latest tape is on repeat. Couple of Gucci Man's old albums are on repeat. So I'd say that. But really, you know, also shout out to Chief Keef, Little Reese, G Herbo, all of these sort of guys as well, man. I listen to everything really and truly. You know, in the UK, you know, the Rimsies, the Potters, the Blades, the Frosties, there's about Millions, Digga D, Nines, Trapstar Toxic as well. You know, Trapstar Toxic. What's his latest mixtape? Is it Trapped in the Hustle? It's not his latest one, but Trapped in the Hustle, whatever it's called. I think that's on repeat as well. So I'd say that, man. My top 3 artists of all time. I don't think there's a third really, but I think 2 would go to Vibes Cartel and 50 Cent personally. So the third one, I don't know, man. I consider myself a rapper. I'd love to be a rapper. So I'd say me personally. But I'd say that's that. You've also said big up to you, bro. You push yourself to be better. You push yourself to be better in your content each day, and it really reflects in your work. 1 second, I appreciate that, but my thing is actually gonna die. I need my charger. 1 second, people, on 8% on my Mac. Apologies for that, people. Right on time. It was just about to die, people. Apologies for that. As I was saying, now as I was getting at, you said big up to you, bro. You push yourself to be better, to better yourself and your content each day, and it really reflects in your work. I really appreciate that. You know, you lot don't see it, yeah, and I don't want positive comments for the sake of it, but sometimes you'll be there, you're like, oh, I ain't gonna get nowhere. What's the point of this? And you'll just see one nice comment, or you really get the vibe that it means something to someone, and then when you're like, regardless, like there's one person out there that man's day is made from my content or seeing that notification. I can't give it up. So I really appreciate that. You said thoughts of the stress of COVID and university you said through the stresses of COVID and university, your content has kept my mind off the negatives, and I can only wish you the best as you progress. Big up, lads, for the new year. I appreciate that, and that message moves me because I can't thank you enough for your commitment to my channel. The fact that you've become a member, your positive words. I can't thank, not just you, I can't thank you lot enough. Like, I can just sit here and say words, and I feel I'm doing you lot a disservice in that regards. All I can do is just keep staying true to myself, never let myself change, which I'd like to think I haven't done, unless it's in a positive way. Like, I was watching some of my content the other day and I was thinking, yo, you was a nervous wreck at times. It's like, so it's lovely to see the self-development to a degree. And that's all I can do is just keep bettering, keep being better, keep being positive, keep doing everything, the reason why you lot are here, people. So that's all I can say, people. But on that note, that ends the Q&A show. There ain't nothing else to say or add on, really. I thought we was only going to be here 10 minutes because we only had 13 questions. But we've been here for half an hour now. And like I said, I'm appreciative of all the support you guys give me. So thank you very much. I apologize that this couldn't be a live show. I will endeavor to get back on the live business. So for my members that didn't ask any questions, I apologize. We'll be back again in 2 weeks. So members, please make sure you're looking over the community tab where I set it to members only, where you lot can ask your questions. Also on that topic as well, when we're not doing Q&As, we're doing the random show, and I've got a lot of random topics. Literally, I'm just going to pick a topic at random and speak about it, people. I've seen a lot of diverse topics to do with football, to do with my personal life, to do with current affairs. So please, members, please go into my YouTube tab, community tab, and comment. I've asked you lot for your random topics. Please make sure you're providing that, people. Like I said, members, there's no such thing as too many questions, so keep them pouring in. There's 13 from you guys. I want to see 26 in that and stuff like that, people. But it is what it is. We'll be back live soon in this live in for the next Q&A. But I did what I could for now, people. A promise is a promise. I told you lot Q&A would be out next week, and it is this next week is this week. So here you have it, people. It's been a fantastic 30 odd minutes with you guys, but I'm going to keep it moving and not waste any more of you guys' time. Like I said, God bless, people. Please hit the like button. Please make sure you're subscribed. Check out the description for all my socials and stuff like that. Follow me on Twitch, Deluded Gooner 187. People, DG, I'm out. God bless.